What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a good evening. This should be pretty interesting. Looking forward to the conversation. Haven't been on in a minute. Well, not alone anyway. What's going on, everybody? So tonight I'm gonna be talk about some of the myths and the assumptions that a lot of women make when it comes to visiting a man at his home. Seems to be something that's really viewed negatively by a lot of women. And I understand why, right? I know that women are emotional creatures. So when we talking about situations where women have been pressured for sex and had hostile reactions from men in that type of situation, I would imagine that it triggers an emotion and gets them in their feelings, for lack of a better term, and causes them to react emotionally. Because the reason that I say that they react emotionally is because they argue points that were not stated. They make arguments that they completely shifted the entire topic to talk about rape and safety. Like, that was nowhere in the question. That was nowhere around the topic. But every single time we talk about that topic, the entire conversation gets shifted to talking about rape and safety and all the danger that can happen. And then I get accused of saying all kind of stupid shit like, you're just telling us to just go to a stranger's house and go over there and just fuck a stranger. Like, all these silly, idiotic things that I get accused of saying, right? As if I would ever say something that stupid. Even though I specifically state. Matter of fact, before I even get into that, let me just read the post itself that got all the situation started. All right, so the original post is, what are your thoughts on a guy asking a girl if she wants to come over instead of going on a date? And do guys expect sex when a woman comes to his place? So they wanted to know what I thought about a man extending an invitation for a woman to come to his house, where that woman has the ability and the opportunity to respond to his invitation. She can let him know what she thinks about it. She can let him know what her concerns are. She can let him know what her decision is. That's with any invitation you are given. You are given the opportunity to decline the invitation, right? But look at the amount of women that instantly judge a man negatively for making a suggestion. A suggestion that people like myself can vouch for being a very effective one. Going on a date, or inviting someone to your home can be one of the most intimate experiences that you could possibly have with somebody that's really feeling you. You get to learn about what they do for a living, how they live. You get to see an authentic presentation of what they present. If you're not dealing with somebody that's a fuckboy, and if you're not dealing with somebody that's a fucking sociopath, right? But the reason for that is because where you go when you interact with somebody does not matter. The things that matter, what y'all talk about, how y'all vibe, what type of chemistry y'all have together, that will apply no matter where y'all are at. I've been on situations where I've had one of the most memorable interactions I've ever had with a woman standing outside of her car door. The conversation was so intense and so good that we stood outside in her parking lot, outside of her car for almost 3 hours. We walked outside of a party and stood outside of her car and talked from probably 11 o'clock to 2:30 in the morning, in the middle, until we were one of the last people leaving the parking lot. No date, no official, no money spent. It was about conversation and interaction. So the idea that a man inviting a woman, I mean, since when is it a problem to invite somebody to your personal space? Right? If you invite one of the co-worker that been to your house, that's somebody you fuck with. That's somebody you are cool with. You don't invite all them motherfuckers to your house. You don't invite everybody to your house. Nobody invites everybody to their house. That's common sense, right? So, the things that I said about the post, right? So, my response to it. I don't think there's anything wrong with the guy inviting a woman to his home. He's giving you the option to accept or decline the invitation, and you have the ability to voice your feelings and concerns on it. That doesn't mean that y'all will never go out on a date, and it doesn't mean he just wants to fuck either. Another major assumption that a lot of women seem to instantly jump to, right? But I don't think it's a good idea for a woman to go to a man's house alone unless she has already decided that she's willing to sleep with him at some point in the future. It doesn't have to be that night. But I don't think that a woman should go to a dude's house that she knows is romantically interested in her and is trying to get at her, unless she has decided that he's somebody that she's willing to get romantically involved with. If you see him as only a platonic friend or somebody that you are not interested in like that, then that's not a smart move. That's going to create bad chemistry, right? You need to make it known that you don't see him like that before you go over there, right? You need to communicate that so that there's no confusion. Wouldn't that one simple step avoid a lot of the things that women are so paranoid about? Men deal with rejection all the time. It's when you go through the motion of talking to him and texting him for days or weeks. Y'all been chitting. Y'all been chopping it up. Y'all been talking on the phone. You've been pretending to be interested in this motherfucker for however long y'all been talking. Do you think that he may feel played when you come over and you hit him with some on platonic, don't touch me, don't do anything type shit? That makes sense, right? That doesn't mean that that's the only thing that he wants, but I would imagine that the guys in that situation feel played, right? If you wasn't interested, why the fuck you came over here? Why you been interacting with me? Like, that's the kind of train of thought, right? But let's talk about what we already know about men approaching women. Anytime a man approaches a woman, he's already decided that she's somebody he would have sex with. Period. No man is going to go run up on a chick that he would not fuck trying to take her out on a date or spend time with her or get her number. Why would he do that? Why would a man run up on a woman that he is not sexually attracted to trying to holler at her romantically? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's why you don't see that behavior exhibited in men. Right? Think about that. Why would yo, excuse me, can I get your attention? How you doing? Why would I do that for a chick that I have zero interest in? That doesn't make any sense, right? That's like applying for a job you don't want. That makes absolutely no sense. And so that's not what men do. So we already know that when a man approaches a woman and hollers at her romantically, he's already established that he's willing to have sex with you. The key is he needs to figure out if you feel the same way. His goal is to get you interested in him. His goal is to get a method of communication where y'all can communicate one-on-one. And he can have private conversations with you so that he can learn about you, figure out what he likes about you, what he sees going on with y'all, how compatible y'all are, and arrange a date and a time to meet in person. Arrange a date. Doesn't have to be any specific place. It doesn't have to be at a specific event. It does not matter where a man engages with you, right? I've had dates with women in all type of places, just sitting on some steps outside of their auntie's crib. Like it does not matter where you interact with somebody. And the thing about that is, when you are with somebody that is really into you, sex can pop off no matter where you at. Chicks suck dicks in cars. They do shit in all type of different places for men that they are interested in and that they vibe with. Those are things that we know, right? So now, the thing. Hold on. Let me finish reading the post before I get off sidetracked. So let's see. It said he doesn't just want to fuck either. A man inviting you to his home can be a very good thing. It will give you an opportunity to see how he lives and learn a lot more about him than you would by going out somewhere, and you can actually come away very impressed with him. All it takes is one unexpected thing, like him cooking dinner, putting you on a drink you never had before, etc., to make the visit very memorable and enjoyable. Lots of women seem to have a safety concern about going to a guy's home out of fear of being raped. And that's a legitimate fear. Where was I at? But it doesn't make much logical sense for a man that is intending on raping a woman to give her his phone number and address, two things that would significantly increase the likelihood of being caught with all of the technology we have available to us. And a woman should be able to get a sense of who she is dealing with based on their conversations and interactions prior to the invite. See that? Let me repeat that, because that seems to be all the women that were rebutting me and telling me how stupid I sound must have completely ignored this sentence, right? It does not make much logical sense for a man that is intending on raping a woman to give her his phone number and his address. Two things that would significantly increase the likelihood of him being caught with all of the technology we have available to us. And a woman should be able to get a sense of who she is dealing with based on their conversations and interactions prior to the invite. Does that sound like I'm telling women to go over a stranger's house that they know absolutely nothing about? Does it sound anything remotely close to the things that those women are suggesting in the comments? How, if you've been talking to when you met somebody, you learned things about them, you did some type of judgment on them, or you wouldn't have gave them your number in the first place. What you should be doing when you are on the phone, when y'all are interacting, when y'all are texting, is learning things about them, asking questions. What you should be doing when you are around them is paying attention to their behaviors, how they treat others, how they interact with others, etc. You should be making sure that the things that they tell you about their lifestyle, check out. Right? If he told you he was an engineer, you should be able to tell he's an engineer when he talks to you about how his day went. If he's a lawyer, he should be having lawyer discussions and lawyer problems. If he's a fucking dentist, he should be talking to you about molars and extractions and I gotta do a root canal in the morning. His reality, the things that y'all talk about on a regular basis, should reflect the facts that they told you about themselves. That's basic dating. That's common sense dating. You don't need a relationship expert to tell you that. But guess what? A lot of y'all don't do that. A lot of y'all pay attention to the motherfucker that tell you what you want to hear and gas you up and make you feel good.